Hey guys, Wavejump here and welcome back to my video. Today I have another advanced command block tutorial. Thank you for, I believe as I am recording this, I am at, let's see here, 522 subscribers, which is, again, the growth is insane right now. So always thank you for that. And of course, before we continue on here, I just feel obligated to thank Shatter, who is my patron, and helps to support my videos. He recently upgraded his pledge to $25, which is amazing. And if you want to consider supporting me, go ahead and click the link in the end card or in the description below. Alright, so today I'm going to be doing an advanced command block tutorial on the stats command. Now I should mention as well, it's kind of still a little bit of a confusing command to me. Look, stats command is a really interesting and odd command, but I've kind of figured it out, and I don't know when you would ever need to use it, but it's nevertheless an interesting command, and I'm sure you can figure out uses for it. Okay, so the stats command, first off I type it in, and let me of course make this all visible for you. You notice you get the option of entity or block. So for example, I want to do block, right? It gives me XYZ and then mode. So for example, I could do here, clear, set, whatever. Alright, so there are a couple of interesting things here, which I will cover, but what's interesting, stats takes, well, statistics from either a block or entity, and it sets it in a scoreboard objective. Alright, so in order to go ahead and do this, what you're going to want to do is, in order to use the stats command, what you're going to want to do is, first off, you're going to create an objective called, let's just use command stats as an example. So I'm going to do scoreboard, objectives, add, and then command stats. Oh, and dummy, because it's still objective. And we're going to now set that to the sidebar, scoreboard, objective, set display, sidebar, command stats. There we go, just like that. Because we're going to be storing all these statistics. Okay, so the way we go ahead and store these things is we store them in kind of players. So you do scoreboard, players, set, blocks. For example, command stats 0. Same for entities, items, query, and success. Let me make this maybe a bit bigger even. Okay, so we've set all those to 0, and well, I don't know why it's more lagging now. But essentially what the stats command does is it lets you update, right, the sidebar, or really just, you know, the objectives with specific settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do stats entity. First off, it'll ask for a player and entity, so I'm going to do Wavejump games, set affected blocks, blocks, and command stats. So essentially what that does here, if I take a look at stats entity, I'm taking stats entity Wavejump games, right, so I'm selecting Wavejump games, selecting specifically the affected blocks section, storing it in the person named blocks within command stats. It's crazy, but it works that way anyways. I'm going to go ahead and do this with entities, items, query result, and success count. By the way, I should mention, if you want to go ahead and see an example of how to do this, the Minecraft Gamepedia has a little kind of example site about it, which I will go ahead and probably leave in the description below. If not, you could just search Minecraft stats command and you'll find it. Okay, items, query results, query. And then I'm going to create last one called success count. Okay, so notice there are a bunch of different options here. So we're going to go ahead here and kind of explain what these all are. So if I wanted, for example, we have a couple of different options here really. So first off, we have success count, and success count is how many commands I ran successfully. So if I do /help, I believe, oh, you know what? No, sorry. Success count, I believe, actually, is if the last command ran successfully or not. So, or at least that's what I'm able to figure out. Nothing's really quite clear when it comes to stats command because it's weird. But let me go ahead and take a look at the description here. And all it really says is it returns a command success count. So I'm not sure exactly how it's supposed to mean, but you'll notice anyways, if I type anything but a valid command, it'll go ahead and set it to 0. Okay, so we have blocks. So blocks returns the number of blocks affected by a command. So set block, air, and there you go. You notice it was affected by the command. If I go fill, fill from there to there, air, you notice 9 blocks were affected by the command, so it's set to 9. So it only really stores the most recent result, but it works. Okay, so entities-wise, it returns the number of entities affected by a command. It should be getting pretty self-explanatory by this point, but I'll go through all of them nevertheless. If I summon a pig here, you notice it affected it, type equals pig, then you'll notice, right, again, entities 1. And if I change that from pig to item, again, still just 1, because it was only one pork chop item. Affected items returns the number of items affected by a command. So if I get myself stone, I believe this should trigger it. Yep, there we go. You notice it gave me 1 stone. If I give myself 64 stone, you notice it sets itself to 64. Again, fairly easy and self-explanatory. Very nice though. And then we have query. So it returns the result of a command query. Now there aren't really many examples of query in the game. Really, one of the ones though that does work is time query. So, as to what time query does though, I'm actually not sure. I don't actually know how. I haven't covered that ever. Let me check really quick here. As far as I know, queries, by the way, fairly recent addition to time, but it might not be. Okay, so according to my Googling, it is meant to work with stats, but let's see. Oh, I see. So when you run it, it'll set the player's score equal to, or basically you could set a value. So for example, if I do time query, query, or actually let's do scoreboard objectives add time dummy. So now if you could do time query dummy, there we go. And I believe, oh, never mind, nope, it is day or daytime. I did not know. Okay, time query day. Anyways, notice it'll tell you what the time is. If I do time set 0, you notice, oh man, let me do weather clear. There we go, now that looks more right. So if I set it to 0, right? Anyways, I'm not sure really still what query does. So if any of you have a better way to explain it, feel free to do that. But very weird. Anyways, actually, it basically looks like it just gives you the time, and then it spits out the most recent result in query, actually. There we go. Now that makes more sense. All right. So, of course, that's pretty much what the command is. You could also clear everything. So, for example, I could do, oh, and I could set it to a block. If I wanted to, for example, set it to a command block and do command blocks options, I could do that. But I want to go ahead and show you something that you could do via this forum this Minecraft Gamepedia, which is kind of cool because it lets you show different objectives of different teams. So we're going to go ahead here and create an objective called block stats to store all the block stats. And then we're also going to create one called player stats. Store player stats. Alright. And then we're going to go scoreboard, teams, add, team, or yeah, we'll do team block and team player. So essentially what we're doing, right, we're creating stats, things like this, right? And then we're also creating different teams for each section. Now you're going to do scoreboard, teams, option, team, block, for example, color, and we're going to do green. Excuse me. And then I could do team player, color, let's do like a light purple. Okay. So I'm going to do scoreboard deck to set display sidebar dot sidebar, or sorry, dot team dot, let's see, we had light purple, and light purple was team player, I believe. No, never mind. I was supposed to put in block stats. I believe, or no, I'm just player stats. Sorry about that. And then I have green, which is block stats. So not like green, it's just green. That's it up until you don't pay attention. Okay. So now that we've done that, we're going to do, we're going to of course add the fake players to each one. So we're going to do scoreboard players set blocks, block stats 0, and then of course entities stats 0, or entities blocks. No, it's entities block stats 0, items block stats 0, because remember we're all storing them on a team. Query block stats 0, and then success block stats 0, and then scoreboard players set blocks players stats. Actually, you know, yeah, let's go player entities. Obviously, this is a lot of just manual entry, which is kind of why this command is annoying. But you could use it, of course, to track a lot of stuff automatically. That's, yeah, I did spell that right. I thought I said qui, but I'm not paying attention. Okay, success. I'm tired, Jay, if you can't tell. And then we're going to do /stats, of course, to update all the information. We're going to do stats. So first off, we want to do block, right? So we're going to choose this command block right here. Stats, block, set, affected, blocks, block stats. Okay, then we're going to do affected entities, block stats, affected items, block stats, affected, query result, query, success count, success. By the way, if I remember correctly, I will just fast forward, or if I will remember, I will skip ahead for this part. Although before I forget, I need to set this to entity. Wavejump games. Set affected. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead here, and the way this works now actually is depending on what team you're on, you see different stats. So I'm going to do scoreboard, teams, join, let's join team block, and Wavejump games. So now I notice I'm on block stats. So if I run this, and of course I haven't tested this out much with the command blocks, there we go, you notice it did for some reason affect an entity, and it also affected success when my Discord's being weird. I got a notification. Sorry about that. Server moderation stuff. Right, or I could do scoreboard, teams, join team player, Wavejump games, and right, I could do / incorrectly do something. It does change sidebar correctly. So there's that. That is how to go ahead and use the command stats in Minecraft. Obviously, it's fairly complicated, so I'll try and leave a link to it in the description below as to how to use it. If you want to see any more command tutorials, please let me know, because I don't have anything to make. I make those plugin things, and most of you subscribe to me for this. So anyways, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have gotten, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh yeah, and thanks to Shatter.